Alright then my friends, in this series we're going to be looking at Hygraph, which is a headless content management system. And by headless I mean it's completely separate from the front end, so you could plug it into whatever framework that you want. Next.js, Flutter, Astro, you name it. And Hygraph itself is only concerned with managing, storing and delivering the content like blog posts or products or reviews or whatever other content you might show on your website. It also offers a native GraphQL API that we can easily use to fetch any content stored in the CMS. And it comes with a built-in query playground that we can use to build and test our queries, which is really nice. It's incredibly simple to use, and best of all, it is free for smaller personal projects. In this course then, we're going to be using Hygraph to make a simple blog application with Next.js that looks something like this. So we have a homepage which shows the latest blogs. We can click on one of those to see that blog in full on a blog details page. On the right of this page, we've got a little sidebar where we also list other blogs by the same author, and we can click on those to see them as well. And then back on the home page, we've got pagination in place to load more blogs when we click on the Load More button down here. And all of this blog content plus the content for an About page is stored and delivered by Hygraph. We're just fetching it using Hygraph's GraphQL content API from within the Next.js application. And because Hygraph is headless, it means I could easily use the same content within a completely different project and different front end if I wanted to. Now, I will say before you go any further that at this point you should have at least a basic knowledge of Next.js. So ideally, you already know how to build a simple Next app using a mix of server components, client components, server actions, hooks and state and all that jazz. If you don't and you want to brush up your Next.js skills first, then I've got a whole Next.js Masterclass course, which I will leave the link to down below the video. I've also got a smaller Next.js crash course on YouTube as well. Alternatively, if you want to follow along using a different front end like Next, Astro or something else completely, you can do that as well, because like I said before, Hygraph is only concerned with managing and delivering content and not so much with what front end you use. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's crack on and get the start project up and running. So then, you can find the starter project on this GitHub repo right here, which I will leave the link to down below the video. And from here, you just need to make sure the starter project branch is selected from the dropdown. Once you've done that, you can just hit the code button over here and download a zip of the project to your computer. Then you're just going to need to unzip that and open it inside VS Code or whatever editor that you might be using. And just while we're on this page, I want to let you know I've also uploaded the code for each individual lesson as well. And you can access that code in the same way by selecting the lesson from the branch right here, the branch dropdown, then either browsing the code here on GitHub or downloading a zip by coming to the code button again. Alternatively, if you're proficient with Git, you can clone this repo to your computer and just switch to these branches locally. Okay then, so I've got that starter project open in VS Code now, and the first thing we're going to do is open a terminal and install any dependencies, which we can do by typing npm install and then hitting enter. Then I'm just going to close this off and very quickly walk through the files in the starter project so that you're up to speed with it. First then, we have got a source folder where all the application source code like pages, components and style sheets live. Inside that, we've got the app folder because we're using the newer app router instead of the older pages router. And then inside the app folder, we've got the home page, which is the page.jsx file down here, as well as the layout file and the global style sheet. Now, if we look at that page file, we should see it's a really simple page component with a title, a bit of dummy text, and then this post list component down here as well. And we pass a prop to that post list component called initial posts, which at the moment is just an empty array because we haven't fetched any posts yet. So that post list component lives inside this components folder, which is where I've put any drop-in or reusable components. And if we open that file, you should see that all we do is accept that initial posts prop and then set it to be the initial value of this little bit of state called posts. Then down here in the template, we map through those posts and output a bit of content for each one. A thumbnail image, which is defaulting to this placeholder one right now, a title, and a summary. Now, obviously, at the moment, those values are hard-coded, but when we actually have some posts later, we'll be outputting them dynamically here. Finally, we've got a button down here to read more, which will eventually use the post slug to link to the dynamic blog details page, which we'll see in a moment. And this gradient button component, by the way, is nothing special. It's just a reusable button component that I made, which has a gradient background and a small chevron icon added to it. Anyway, at the very bottom of this post list component, we've got another regular button, which does nothing at the moment, but later we'll use this to implement pagination and load more posts. So then, I mentioned a minute ago that this read more button up here links to the dynamic blog details page, eventually using the slug of the post as part of the link. So the full path is /blog, then / whatever the slug is, where the slug will be dynamic and different for each post. And that blog details page is inside the blog folder up here, and then inside another folder called slug with square brackets around it. Now the square brackets tells Next.js this part of the route is a dynamic route parameter, and it could change depending on the post. But then inside that folder, we've got another page file for the details page. If we open the file, we should see another simple component, and this time it takes in the params prop automatically passed into any page component by Next. And on that params prop, we can access the slug like this. And importantly, starting in Next version 15, I think, this access is asynchronous. So we have to make sure we put a wait in front of this, and also make the component asynchronous because of that. So then, that slug is the dynamic part of the URL after /blog, and now we're storing it in this constant. Now later, we'll be using that slug to fetch that single post from Hygraph, but right now we're just outputting the slug in the template. And in this template, we've got a section ready for the post title right here, the post author, the summary, and the content itself. So we'll be rendering that later once we have the content from Hygraph. Anyway, down here we've also got a little sidebar where later we'll also be outputting links to more posts by the same author as the post we're currently viewing. For now, it's just an empty sidebar. Now, one other page component we have is the About page, which is inside the About folder over here. And if we open that one up, we see it's a very basic component with no real content yet, but again, we'll be fetching that from Hygraph later. So then, the only other thing is this global CSS file over here, which contains a few styles to make the site look a little bit better. I'm not going to go through it because this course has nothing to do with CSS, but feel free to browse through that if you want. Oh, and we also have a header and a footer component, which is some basic layout stuff, and that's not really important in the context of this series either. Anyway, hopefully now all the dependencies have installed and we can run the dev server to view this project in a browser. And we can do that by typing npm run dev and then hitting enter. Once we've done that, it should spin up a local dev server so we can preview the app on localhost port 3000. Alright, so here it is. This is the header up here with the site title, and we've got a link to the About page, which we'll see in a second. The homepage content, which is right here. Now this button is from the post lists component, where we have at the minute that empty list of posts being passed in, so we don't see any posts yet. But if we click on this, nothing happens. Then down here we've got the footer. We can go to /about if we wanted to. That is the empty page. We can click on this to go back to the home page. Also, if we go to /blog and then / something like ABC, then we should see the blog details page for that post. Again, not a real post at the moment, but notice we're grabbing that slug from the route parameter up here and we're outputting it in the template. And we have all these different placeholders as well and the sidebar. Okay, there we go. That is the starter project then. Alright then, so the last thing I want to do in this lesson is set up a brand new project on Hygraph. But before we do that, you'll need to sign up for a free Hygraph account, which you can do by coming to the pricing page at hygraph.com/pricing. And then you can click on this sign up for free button on the free hobby plan. So this plan gives you some fairly decent allowances, especially for personal hobby projects. And for more serious projects, you can always upgrade to a paid plan. Anyway, when you click on this button, you'll go through a quick sign up process, and once you're logged in, you should see a Go to Studio button up here. If you click on that button, you're going to get directed to a dashboard of sorts where you can manage all of your Hygraph projects. Now, I've already got one created, which I used to test out the project that we'll be making in this course. But right now, I want to create a brand new one. So to do that, we can click on the Add Project button, and from there we can choose a plan for this project, which I'm going to set to be a hobby plan, the free plan. We can also give the project a name down here, and I'm going to call it Game Zone. If you want, you can also give the project a description, but I'm going to skip that part. And then further down here, we can select a region to host the content from. Finally, we can click on this button down here to create the project. Once you've done that, you should get directed to the Hygraph Studio for this project. Now, on the right of this page, we've got some documentation links and guides, and then on the left, we've got a bunch of links to set up schemas, add content, upload assets, and do other stuff as well. You've also got some project settings down here where you can do things like update the project name, invite other users to the project, access your project endpoints, clone your project, and a bunch of other stuff as well. For now, we're going to leave it there, and in the next lesson, we're going to talk about Hygraph models and schemas. By the way, if you want early access to the entire course now, you can grab it on the NetNinja.dev website, so I will leave this link down below the video. You can buy the course for $3, or you can get access to my entire course library by signing up for a NetNinja Pro membership, which is just $9 a month. For that, you get instant access to all my YouTube courses, early access to those courses as well, and access to premium masterclass courses. You can get your first month half price using this promo code right here. So again, I'll leave this link down below the video.